Hey, I'm coming to you from the Acock household, where Margie and I are dug in, as I'm trusting most of you are as well. Um, just waiting out this pandemic. The purpose for this video is I wanted to share with you about a new CD that I am wanting to release. And the new CD is something that has been in the making for, I guess, about the last year and a half. It's called Two More Tunes Till Daylight, and that seems like an appropriate title uh, for these days. So this CD was recorded at Fellowship Hall in Little Rock, and my son Jesse produced it and played several instruments, as well as my son Dylan played drums and percussion. And we had some guest musicians, John Fulbright and Paul Benjamin, to name just a couple. Um, I had planned a big fanfare to release this CD and some CD release shows as well for the near future. But as you well know, the near future is questionable right now. And so I have decided to go ahead and release this CD digitally through Bandcamp. Now, the reason I have chosen Bandcamp is simply because last week I was so impressed with their courage and their generosity when they announced that on Friday of last week, all proceeds from music purchased and merchandise purchased would 100% go to the artists. I thought that was pretty brave, and and I respected them for that decision. So I have decided to release my CD on Bandcamp only for now. The other thing is, um, Bandcamp doing that really inspired me to want to give back as well. And so, what I want to do is today, and well, what's left of today and tomorrow, Saturday. Today is March 27th, and tomorrow will be the 28th. And for today and tomorrow, I am going to uh, give all proceeds from any downloads of single songs that you purchase will go to the Red Dirt Relief Fund. And if you decide to download the whole CD, that's fine. A portion of proceeds from that will also go to the Red Dirt Relief Fund. And I'm not only going to do that for today and tomorrow, but then subsequent Fridays, all the way up until April 17th, um, I will be giving all proceeds from music downloaded on those particular days will go to the Red Dirt Relief Fund. Now, uh, I know that there's a lot of people giving to a lot of good causes, and I just chose the Red Dirt Relief Fund because one, I have sons who are musicians and lots of friends, and I am a musician, but also because I really believe in what they're doing. And I want to, for those of you who might be unfamiliar with the Red Dirt Relief Fund, it is a nonprofit that has provided more than 100,000 to Oklahoma music people affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And they did that in the first week. To date, they have given out 400 one-time $250 grants to music people from all genres of music across the state. However, they, at last counting, had um, at least 53 grants waiting. So the need is great, as you can well imagine. So for that reason, I think the Red Dirt Relief Fund is something I wanted to help. And let me, while I'm thinking of it, let me give you their. Um, this is how you can find them online. And if you want to purchase my music, today and tomorrow. Here's how you can find my music. Okay, so I want to tell you one more thing. There's a song on this CD called "Walking Each Other Home," and for that particular song, I'm going to well, for that particular song, you'll be able to download that song from now on out at any time, and that song, all proceeds will go to the Red Dirt Relief Fund if you download that particular song. The reason for that is, let me just tell you a story about the origin of that song. A few years ago, I was having a conversation with Tom Skinner. Many of you know Tom from the songwriting community, and Tom is a beloved and well-respected singer-songwriter that came out of the Stillwater Red Dirt music scene. And Tom and I were talking at the Colony a few years back we were kind of sharing with each other about our mutual health concerns. We shared some similar concerns, and we were kind of checking in with each other. He asked me, how do you deal with the anxiety about those health concerns? And I told him, well, it depends. I have my good days and my bad days, but I deal with it a lot through my faith. And I mentioned that I follow a Christian writer named Anne Lamott on Facebook. I follow her posts. And then I proceeded to tell him about a post I had read that morning where Anne Lamott had had put a quote up that said, "We're all just walking each other home." And I was very touched by that quote. And Tom immediately said, "That's a great line for a song. You got to come over to my house, Scott, and we'll write that song." And Tom, those of you who know Tom knows that he never passes up a good chance when he finds a good line to put it into a song. So I told Tom, that sounds like a good plan. Well, I never made it over to Tom's house because about 2 weeks later, Tom died after that conversation. So that was very unfortunate, and I was quite heartbroken to have lost such a inspiration to all of us, and as many of you are as well. Well, what happened is I just basically forgot about writing that song, but shortly after Tom passed, I found out that two singer-songwriters in the Oklahoma community, one being Randy Crouch and the other one Larry Spears, had also had a conversation with Tom, and where he had shared that line with them and talked about writing a song. Well, Randy and Larry didn't waste any time, and they got right on it, and both of them wrote a song with that theme in the song, and I believe the title of their songs is also "Walking Each Other Home" or something to that effect. So two great songs came out of that conversation that I had with Tom, which puts a smile on my face. And so then a couple of more years go by. I've forgotten all about it, and I'm sitting at my dining room table actually trying to work up a cover of Tom Skinner's song "Crystal." Well, I was sitting there, and all of a sudden this melody came into my head, and I began to hum it and to strum it on the guitar. And from there, I knew that I had the bones of what I needed to write that song. So I spent the rest of the afternoon working on that song. And it actually came fairly easy. And I'm certain that Tom was there with me in spirit to help me complete it. So I have dedicated that song to Tom Skinner. And I want everybody to know that if you purchase that song at any time from now on out, those proceeds will go to the Red Dirt Relief Fund. All right, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I need to tell you guys. You know, um, again, I am truly blown away by the generosity and the kindness of Oklahomans, especially during this time, but really during any time. They've always, tornadoes, floods, and now the pandemic. It, it, it is, these are people on the front lines, the doctors, the health professionals, firefighters, police, bankers, uh, restaurant workers, all of them that are trying to keep us going during this time. They all deserve a Medal of Honor. So thank you. And thank you to all of you who are giving of yourselves during this time. And really, we really are all just walking each other home. Stay home, be safe, and love your neighbor. Bye now.